Hey everyone, and welcome to the tour of my recipe binder. As you can see, it is nothing fancy, just a simple 1-inch binder from an office supply store. I'm actually considering getting a slightly thicker binder because, as you'll see, this one is bursting at the seams. But here we go, I'm gonna give you a little tour. All right, so at the front, I have a couple different supplies. First, I have these weekly meal planning sheets, and they are printed double-sided, so I can fit, let's see, a quarter of a year on one of these sheets, which is great. And I'll walk you through how I use them more in my meal planning posts, but just know that I keep these in here to track our meals as I'm working on the meal plan every week. And I'm also planning to 3-hole punch these and stick them in the back so I can keep them for reference in the future too. Then here at the front, I also have my grocery lists that we talked about in the meal planning post. So this is my custom grocery list for Publix, and I pull this out after I make my meal plan as I'm assembling my meal or my shopping list for the week. So I keep these in here too for easy access. All right, then moving over here, I keep this at the front. This is my little cheat sheet of dinners that don't really have a recipe. So you can see it's things like pre-made meatballs, Cobb salad, buffalo chicken pizza, meatball subs, all things that I just don't want to forget, but that aren't kind of represented in the recipe binder otherwise. So I keep that here at the front. All right, and then in here, this binder is divided into sections. So the first one is main dish. And now that I have a lot of recipes in here, I'm considering breaking it up a little bit more into things like, soups, whatever it might be. But for now, I just have it in main dish and that works great. Okay, so I am literally going to walk you through every page and just give you my brief commentary on the recipes, but know that if you're looking for these recipes, all of them that are online are in my printed recipes board on Pinterest, so I'll link to that below, but this is just your behind the scenes scoop on why we love them and why they earned a place in the binder. So first up is 1 skillet creamy sun-dried tomato chicken and orzo. Super easy, it's very rich. I don't think of myself as someone who loves sun-dried tomatoes, but I still really love this dish. Very delicious and really easy too. Alton Brown's shepherd pie. We always make this on St. Patrick's Day, and it's just a really yummy, great comfort food. Same thing with this Barefoot Contessa meatloaf. This is my classic meatloaf recipe. It also freezes great, so I like to, it makes 2 meatloafs when you make it, and I like to just cut one up and freeze it in individual slices in the freezer when I make it. This baked chicken, just an easy casserole dish. It's great. Chicken piccata. This is one of my all-time favorite recipes. It's by Giada, and a friend made it for us years ago, and it is so delicious. It's completely spoiled me on ordering chicken piccata at a restaurant because it is so good. It does take a little bit of hands-on work because you have to dredge the chicken and then cook it and kind of move things in and out of the pan, but it's really easy and it's so good. Not health food by any means, tons of butter in it, but it is really delicious. All right, this chicken and broccoli Alfredo is very easy. I love Alfredo, and it's just like a simple, slightly healthier than your normal Alfredo. That's great for weeknights. Chickpea shawarma stuffed pita. This is a vegan meal. I guess if you add feta in it, which we do, that would be vegetarian, but it is still really yummy and healthy. We haven't made this one as much since having kids, but it's really good. Chicken tikka masala from Pinch of Yum. This is one of our absolute go-to recipes. You make it every other week or so. You make a spice paste, the masala paste, once, and that lasts you for I think it makes 8 servings or so. And then I just pull that out of the freezer and can easily make this with 5 ingredients. It's so good. Definitely one of the closest dishes we've gotten to making Indian dishes at home. So that is definitely a regular in our rotation. Okay, this next one is a chicken bacon ranch casserole. It's a recipe from my mom. You can see it's written out in her handwriting. And it is not health food also, but it is so good and just kind of like a classic easy casserole. You can make it ahead of time, anything you want. And I feel like I definitely love having some of those in my repertoire. Chana masala, another Indian option. This one takes a little bit more time to prep just because you don't have that paste that's prepped in advance. So you're kind of doing some more chopping and getting spices ready to go, but it's also very good, and that one is vegetarian. Chopped chicken taco salads, really delicious. A great summer option is a really yummy lime marinade with this one that we love. Quick and easy samosas. Yes, let me show you. This is one of the, I recently kind of resurrected this binder, but I first made it while I was in college, or possibly even before college, with like meals that I tore out of magazines back in the day before I was even cooking at all. And so you can see this one was printed in September 2008, which is my senior year of college. So it has been in here a long time. It is, if you were like really going out on an Indian meal, it's a yummy samosa recipe, so fun to have in here. Okay, these next two are actually HelloFresh recipes. So we've gotten a few boxes over the years, and honestly, every recipe we've gotten from them has been a total winner and one that we've incorporated into our rotation. So they send you these nice recipe cards, so I just put those in as they sent them to us. There's a honey glazed pork tenderloin. This is a sesame beef tacos with really good quick pickles that you make. This summer cavatelli with corn, tomatoes, and zucchini is a skinny taste recipe, and it is so good. My sister-in-law pointed me toward this one. It's a great summer meal with tomatoes and basil and corn. Very easy and quick. You used canned or like jarred tomato sauce, marinara sauce for it, so it's really easy. All right, this crock pot lentil soup is a great winter meal. It's like, they call it detox. It's very healthy, and it cooks in the crock pot, so it kind of makes your house smell good, but it does take also a good bit of prep at the beginning. Crispy Southwest chicken wraps, super easy, delicious, makes leftovers that you can freeze. Shawarma spice grilled chicken. This has been one of our recent favorites. I kind of pulled this recipe out of the vault after having not made it for several years as I was compiling the binder, and it is so good. The marinade is just delicious, and then we make it with her yogurt sauce, like she says, as well as cherry tomatoes and cucumbers sliced, those little mini naan things from the grocery store, rice pilaf, some hummus on the plate, and it's like a delicious Mediterranean platter. So good. All right, this is a pullout from Southern Living. This is for their zesty pot roast. It's really, really good the first night, and then I also love making these shepherd's pot roast pies with some of the leftover meat and carrots. Very delicious, great in the winter. Hunter's Minestrone. It is a yummy soup. Made it for many years, also usually in the winter. This is a black bean and rice soup from my sister. I think it's a Rachel Ray recipe. It's great. It has a little bit of spice to it, but not too much. This, I don't remember, this is a magazine pullout, and it's farfalle with pancetta peas and grana padano. It's really, really good. We don't even make it with grana padano. I'm not even sure what that is. We just use Parmesan, but it's very good, super easy, just like a quick, easy pasta dish to bring together. This is a recipe from Our State, which is a North Carolina magazine, and it is stuffed zucchini squash boats. So they have like sausage and corn and cheese in them. They are really good. John and I love them, but the kids do not love them quite as much, so we don't make those all the time. This is a half-baked harvest recipe. It's Instant Pot cacio e pepe with garlic chickpeas. I have definitely not mastered the Instant Pot. I've only used ours a couple of times and I'm kind of intimidated by it, but this one was good that we made in Instant Pot. A corn chowder recipe, yummy. I think that one's from Food Network too. It's Tyler Florence. And then you can see, I don't know if you can see that detail, but this is our recipe for chicken souvlaki, which is from October 2005 in Real Simple magazine. And I can remember making this when, 2005 would have been my senior year of high school. And I remember making this for dinner for my family after pulling it out of the magazine, and my mom like grumbling about how many spices and like weird things it had, which is just hilarious to me because it's really not that exotic of a recipe. But yeah, you can see it is a very beloved recipe. It has been made many times over in our family. It's a great summer meal. I love it. Another Indian recipe. This is a butter chicken. We don't make this one quite as often, but it's good. Steak and potato salad from my sister. I also don't eat a ton of it just because it has the steak in it, but it is yummy. Good dressing. Okay, this lightened up chicken enchiladas is also delicious. It is easy to put together. It doesn't make like a ton, kind of weirdly for an enchilada dish, but it makes enough for our family of 4 and is good. Okay, nacho dogs. This is a family favorite. Bear with me if this sounds crazy, but it is hot dogs that you dress up with guacamole, a salsa that you whip up in the food processor, some shredded cheese, as well as crumbled tortilla chips. And it is so good. It is a major family favorite over here. And this guacamole recipe with a few tweaks is my guacamole recipe that I make, whenever we need guacamole. It is so, so good. And I have to say that it has won at least one guacamole making contest over the years. So highly recommended. All right, baked chicken meatballs. These are just great. You can have them in the freezer and throw them into things as you need to. Over here, a sweet potato burrito with avocado salsa verde. This was another one that we had made years ago and I kind of pulled out of the vault recently, and the kids loved it. They love the sweet potatoes. So really good. All right, this is another 2 more HelloFresh recipes. These we make them at least once a month, if not more. This is a 1-pan orzo italiano, and this quick beef ragu spaghetti with zucchini in it. Both really good. And the good thing is you can, even if you've never gotten a box, you can get these recipes online. So they are also linked in that Pinterest board. Chicken tinga tacos, really good. I've made these for like families with new babies and things. It's easy to just like put everything together and then bring them so they can dump it in a pot and cook it themselves. Classic potato soup from the Pioneer Woman. This is a roasted tomato and chicken pasta. We've only made this a couple times, but I remember liking it when we did. The best taco soup. This was a recipe on Cup of Joe. We make this a lot. Super easy. It's pretty much all canned things and just really easy to bring together. Sorry, I'm just trying to adjust my light for you. There we go. All right, and then zucchini meatballs. These are also great, similar to the chicken ones. You can just kind of make a batch of them, have them in the freezer, pull them out when you need, and they're really light and delicious. Zucchini is a good base for a lot of stuff. All right, this is a Greek flatbread pizza. You can make it with chicken and have it be kind of a main dish, or without for more of an appetizer. Always looking for creative chicken or pizza recipes. This chicken lo mein, our friends made for us when we were at their house, and it was so good. And I've never quite been able to make it as good as she did at home, but I keep it in here because I have hope that someday I will do a better job. This is a classic Carolina style pulled pork in the crock pot. A beef stroganoff, super easy. It's kind of like Hamburger Helper, but homemade when you're looking for comfort food. These are a Pioneer Woman recipe for barbecue meatballs. They are less of like your Italian marinara meatball and more of just almost like those cocktail hot dog kind of taste. It's very good, but good with like mashed potatoes and vegetable. All right, this is the America's Test Kitchen beef tacos. I am totally not above using taco seasoning, but these are delicious and easy to make too. A corn and zucchini chowder, which is great for the summer. This slow simmered beef ragu has become a holiday tradition in my family as well as my extended family. We almost always have this on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, as well as often on my birthday because it's just one of my absolute favorites. It's really easy, just goes in the pan for several hours to become really tender and delicious. This is another Jenny recipe. It's lemon penne pasta with grilled chickens, just like a light pasta dish. The chicken gets grilled and then you have fresh spinach and a cream sauce and cherry tomatoes. So it's great for the summer. This is a simple one pot pasta, chicken noodle soup. Again, really easy. You make your own stock for it. We make that a lot in the winter. Hot chicken salad. This is something a friend made for us when we had a new baby. It's really good. It's good for like a group, or you know, when you have family in town or something like that. Great for a crowd. Okay, this sweet potato beef stew is from a Skinny Taste cookbook. It is one of my absolute favorites. We made it first at my sister-in-law's house. It's so good. It's in the crock pot, and I just really love it. Unfortunately, that's not one I can link online because it's in her cookbook, but totally worth seeking out if you can find it. All right, dragon noodles are really simple. You can dress them up with a protein if you want to do that. A chicken pot pie recipe. I also totally get the Whole Foods frozen chicken pot pies. They're really good, but if I want to make it from scratch, this is the recipe I use. Orange chicken, kind of a like takeout, you know, treat if you want that. Sesame peanut noodles. I actually prefer to eat, she said cold, but I like to eat these warm or room temperature. It's good. You can also add a lot of different like mix-ins and things to splash it up. Okay, and then finally, Korean beef tacos. It also goes in the slow cooker, and then you can make a slaw for it. It's really good. So that concludes our main dish section. Oh, a dice, cool. Okay, the other sections are much shorter, so bear with me. The next one is sides, and I'll go through these pretty quickly. This is a potato salad. It's a great like cookout option. Cheesy bread, not even like hardly need a recipe for it, but just a good reminder of that. These crispy smashed potatoes with avocado garlic aioli have also become a favorite in my family. Just really delicious and easy and pretty good for you since they're using the avocado. These crispy potatoes are just a great side dish to go along with any sort of protein that you're having. Cast iron blistered Brussels sprouts. My favorite way to have Brussels sprouts. Really, really delicious. It just takes a little bit of like hands-on time because you cook them in we just use our Le Creuset, but you can do a cast iron skillet if you have that. All right, tomato corn avocado salad. This is another like total regular rotation for us in the summer. It's really simple. It's just corn, cherry tomatoes, avocado, lime juice, and salt and pepper basically, but it's delicious when everything's in season. For an indulgent treat, this is roasted corn with cheese and lime. It's kind of like Mexican street food corn. It's really good. Kale and Brussels sprout salad, delicious and good in all sorts of seasons. And then this is a garlic herb bread. We also had a friend make this for us with a new baby. I've actually never made it myself, but it was so good. And I really need to try because I can't be intimidated by that. Finally, hot corn dip, Pioneer Women. Just like a great party food appetizer thing if I need that. Okay, next section is dessert. This is just a recipe card from a friend, and I'm planning to keep those in these front pockets to access them easily. Chocolate cream pie, and these, let me tell you, these desserts are all like the 100% blue ribbon, like Grand Champion recipes for us. Those are the only ones I printed out, so just know that these are extremely beloved by our family. So chocolate cream pie, so good, delicious in the summer. You make the pudding and the whipped cream, and then the base is a like chocolate, pre-baked chocolate Oreo crust. Chocolate raspberry pavlova, I put this recipe on my blog because it's so good. One of our favorites. I know pavlova. I have a friend here that is excited about talking about pavlova. All right, these baby cakes are also from Nigella. These are one of our favorites. Chocolate chunk pecan cookies. These are the cookies that I keep in the freezer. They're so good. They're really easy to make because you don't even need to use your mixer. The butter is melted in the dough. Really good. And then these are the chocolate chip cookie recipe I use for when I'm making deep dish cookies. So it's slightly different, but also really good. And then finally, our peach and blackberry crumble. This is one of my favorite summer recipes to make. It has obviously fresh peaches and blackberries. You serve it with this like delicious crumble over the top and then vanilla ice cream. It's so good. All right, this is the breakfast section. There's only a couple in here, but I have a recipe for chocolate raspberry tea cakes that we pulled out of the newspaper for Mother's Day for my mom when I was like maybe in middle school. Like, this recipe has been around for a very long time. So yummy. They're more like a dessert than breakfast. They're very sweet, but they're really good. This is just a breakfast starter that I pulled out of Martha Stewart, a sheet pan pancake recipe, apple cider scones. Many of you are familiar with that recipe. That's our first day of fall tradition for the kids' teachers. My favorite banana bread recipe that I actually use Greek yogurt instead of sour cream in. A blueberry breakfast cake that's great for when you have house guests or things like that. The Power Balls recipe from Magnolia. These are just like a great snack to have on hand.
I love Power Balls.
You love the Power Balls. Me too. They're very good. Kind of messy to make, but totally worth it. Another scone recipe. This was from the Pioneer Woman, lemon raspberry scones. And then this is from John and I went to a cooking class, and so the crepe recipes that we got from there. All right, so that is it. You can see I still have more dividers if I want to split this up further. But I hope you enjoyed the tour, and I will be glad to answer any questions you have on the blog post. So thanks for watching. I hope this is helpful.